And thus begins our series about how Jewish people have been portrayed on film through the years. I'm here with the man who helped program our series, an expert on the subject who's going to be with me each Tuesday throughout September, author and Jewish film scholar Dr. Eric Goldman. So interesting about history and how it happens. The one that was first offered this was George Jessel, who'd done it on Broadway as a play, and he turned it down, or for reasons didn't do it. And he would have been the legend that Al Jolson became, because Al ended up doing this movie that turned out to be so revolutionary.
Yeah, I mean, it had been a play on Broadway. And in fact, when I look at the kinds of audience reactions and the reviews, it was largely a play written by a Jew about Jews and seen largely by a Jewish audience. And George Jessel was the perfect performer.
Right.
And he was told when Warner Brothers optioned and bought the rights that he would be getting the part.
Oh, he didn't know?
He didn't know.
He didn't turn it down then?
He didn't turn it. Well, initially, you know, it's a controversy. George Jessel tells one story, Jack Warner tells another story. George Jessel said that he turned it down because they altered the story away from the boy returning home to his Jewish home and happy ending. Jewish boy returns home, sings in synagogue. Warner Brothers didn't like that ending. They actually brought in another screenwriter, Alfred Kahn, to change that, and George was out the door.
And of course, George had no idea this was going to be such a historic film.
Of course not.
Yeah. You have another interesting story about the this movie.
Probably one of the most interesting moments in the film is when Jack, or Jakey, as he is called, returns home, and we have the sexton coming and greeting him, and he holds up a prayer shawl. And in effect, he's saying, you're home. Come back home. Wear this prayer shawl. Wear this white mantle. Return to your Judaism. And Jack is struggling. I mean, it's opening night at the theater. It is also the Day of Atonement. And it's very clear, at least before he walks in that door, that he's going back to the theater that night. That's what he's been working for. And take it, Jack. And he's struggling, and he holds it up, and in walks the manager from the theater and his woman friend from the theater. That is, I think, the most important moment in the film. It's the Jew or the immigrant struggling with what are they going to take in America and what are they prepared to give up.
Right.
And that's just such a beautiful moment.
Yeah, it is. Well, let's move on. Stick around. We have a little deja vu for you right now. It's a 1952 remake of The Jazz Singer. This one stars Danny Thomas, who happens to have been a Lebanese Catholic, and he's co-starred in the movie with famed singer Peggy Lee and directed by the great Michael Curtiz in 1952.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, Danny Thomas takes on the role made famous by Al Jolson, the jazz singer. Then immigrant Carol Kane is reluctant to give up the old world ways in Hester Street. And America is the Dream in Avalon.
Turner